Hi there, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica. Today's video is the completed pages for October. So I have a couple of whips and several completed pages to share with you guys. This is my favorite video to film, my favorite video to watch from my other fellow YouTube creators. Yeah, it's just fun to see what everybody's been up to all month and to see the wonderful artwork that they all produce. So I hope you guys enjoy today. So today we're going to start with my Creative Companion. This is the book that I use to just organize all of my coloring, so I kind of remember what I've used. I could use it better, but this is what I've got so far. So I did do a fun little doodle across the bottom of the page. Kind of kept track of things. These are all my completed pages and whips this time. And then I did doodle these little guys here, but I didn't get to color any of it in, unfortunately. I didn't use this quite as much as I normally do. And that's kind of been the case for the last couple months for some reason. But I'm hoping that next month it'll pick back up again. So yeah, so normally and typically I usually color a little bit in the back here, but I forgot to do that this month as well. So yeah, so let's just get started. Sorry. I like to share this on occasion, and this also helps me, like I said, it helps me keep track of the supplies that I've used. So I'm going to set this up so that I can see what I'm doing when I get to specific pages. Okay, so we're going to start with my Johanna Bassford Weekly Planner. I am doing a year-long color along. It's kind of slacked off a little bit in the past couple months, but I was going to be coloring each week. There's a page to color in this book, and I had been doing really well until the past couple months. So I've gone through and done a few of them that I have kind of missed. So these ones are not finished. That one is. Okay, so here we go. This is the months or the pages in September that I went back and completed. So this is using the Couleur colored pencils. I really like the way that ended up looking. I think the Couleur pencils worked really nicely on this page, and it had beautiful colors. I wanted still to have the pink flamingos, but I wanted them to have a tint of orange in there so that I could kind of make it look quote unquote fall-like since it's in September. And I really like this goldenrod color that I have kind of worked in there too. But really, it's just those three colors. Or four colors, I guess. Pink, yellow, orange, and green. And just, yeah, really, really like the way that one turned out. This next one is one that I used using the Art Pop watercolor pencils. It eventually turned out okay. It's not my favorite pencil to use. I did have to layer quite a bit to get any kind of color payout, but it is also a value brand watercolor pencil, so you know, you kind of get what you pay for. But overall, I like the way that this turned out. Not a terrible pencil if you are on a budget. This one is, I used these Star Joy pencils, and I wanted to try something really different in the background. This background took forever because it's all pencil. And it took ages to do, but really like, again, the limited palette with just browns, orange, yellow, and a little bit of green for the greenery. But yeah, I just think it turned out neat. It's just a very different kind of page for me. These are not tones that I would, even in the fall, I wouldn't necessarily do like a whatever brown sky, I guess that's brown, but I think it looks cool. So yeah, so there's that one. And then I think I did this one too. This one I do not like. This one I did with which markers? I don't even remember. I used markers and then went over top with some pencils, and I think that it was the Prismacolor pencils. Don't love it. It just didn't turn out exactly the way that I was hoping, but it's fine. It's a completed page, and yeah, there's that. Okay, so these are the ones that I have started with marker. So I did that one. I didn't do this one because I have colored this one already on a previous page, and I started that one, but I didn't get back to finish these guys. So hopefully I can work on those next month, and then we've got some really pretty pages, really cool pretty pages coming up in November. yeah, so looking forward to those. And then, yeah, it's just 2 months left of the year, guys. How did that happen? So crazy. So that is what I've done so far in my Johanna weekly planner. I do have one whip in the Rita Berman fall book. I had started this one. I think I might have showed you guys some of this. I finally got all the watercolor pencil done. I might come back in with a little bit of shading, but I'm also coming in, hoping you can see that, with some gel pen, some sparkly gel pen to add highlights and stuff. So I've got a little bit on these ones over here right now. So I really like to do that in the Rita Berman books, just because when it hits the light right, it just, I don't know, it just looks really cool. So hoping to finish this up in November. I've got, like I said, I might come back in with a few colored pencils here and there, probably not very much, because I really do like the way that this looks with just the Inktense. That's what I've used on this page so far. And then I probably will do like some splatters of either gold paint or goldish paint. I don't know. But yeah, so far just using some gel pens, some glitter gel pens to add details to the leaves. And like the way that that is turning out so far. So yeah, so that is my one whip. That's the only whip I have, which is crazy. Crazy. Okay, so in Enchanted Faces, I think this was another month where we didn't have pages picked out, but anyway, I am part of a coloring group. The Enchanted Faces group, I think, is what it's called. So if you look up that hashtag Enchanted Faces group on Instagram, you can see all of our beautiful pages. We didn't have any pages picked out specifically this month, so I just went through and finished off a whip that I had for a really long time. So this is the one that I did this month. I don't know. It doesn't go with anything else that I colored this month at all, but I had started her blue skin and I gave her blue hair too, so I just went with it. I was just like, okay, well, she's going to be totally blue, but I do like the way she turned out. I think she's pretty. She looks very, I don't know, very blue, but I like it. So we do have pages picked out next month, so there will be several in here for me to show you next month. I did some more in this gorgeous book. So this is Furballs by Diane Dufour. Really love this book. It's just so fun. So I did, let's see, I did several in this book. So I did this one last month. I did this one, which I think turned out so cute. I love it. I really like the purple, like the way that it pops off of the background. Yeah, and I had to add a little bit of sparkle, so there's some gold glitter gel pen in there. But I love it. I think it's just adorable. So I did that one. I did this one for Halloween, which again, really like. This is, like I said, it's really simple coloring for me in this book. I'm just using Inktense and maybe a little bit of color pencil shading here and there, but not very much at all. So this is just Inktense and then some sparkle gel pen and a little bit of white Posca. And I just love the way that that turned out too. It's such a cute book. And then last but not least was this one. It's another one that's just so cute. I love it. It's so fun. Yeah, and I just had a really good time coloring these. I did try to start a couple more things, but I was just like, I was done. I needed to focus on my other coloring pages for the month. But got 3 done for the fall, for October, and I'm planning on doing a couple more in this fall section next month. So yeah, I just really love it. I love this book so much. It's so fun. So yeah, so those are the 3 in Furballs that I finished this month. I did do a page in A Million Cute Animals. There was a color along by Samways Coloring on Instagram. He had the Pink Owl October. So I did this page, which I thought turned out really cool. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, how I was going to incorporate the pink owl into like the fall color palette, but I think it works pretty well. I did use quite a bit of sparkly bits on here. I've got stickles on these clouds around and down in the water, some stickles on the centers of the flowers. I've also used a metallic watercolor on this. I guess it's a moon. I don't know what exactly that is, but I colored it as like a moon. And then I also used some glossy accents on their eyes, which I don't do very often, but I really just wanted their eyes to pop. So I did that. And the rest of it is a little bit of, it's water-based markers and then a little bit of color pencil shading thrown in here and there. But yeah, I like it. I think it's so cute. I really like the way the pink ended up looking on here. And I keep moving it because I'm hoping that you're seeing some kind of sparkle from that. But yeah, I just think the pink ended up working really well. So yeah, so that is that one in A Million Cute Animals by Lulu Mayo. I did several Lulu Mayo pages this month. My next one is A Million Little Monsters. I think I worked on this page a little bit in a weekend whip, but I finished it. So here's this one. This one's so cute. I used some, and this is one where I have started, I started to use some watercolors. In the past, I've not had great success using watercolor, water mediums in Lulu Mayo's books. And I don't know if it was just because I was doing it wrong or what happened, but it kind of turned me off of trying to use them in her books. So I decided to try again. So I did a little bit of a background here. Well, a lot of a background. It was almost the whole background with my Neo Color 2s. Really like the way that turned out. Used water-based marker to color in the majority of the objects. This cauldron was already black, so I just used some extreme glitter black paint from Folk Art. Really love this. I really love the extreme glitter stuff. It's really fun, but that gives me this nice sparkly cauldron here. It's just so fun. I love it so much. It's so fun. And then, yeah, and then just some Prismacolor pencils, a little bit of gel pen here and there, but just like, I think that's just the green that I've got thrown around. And then maybe a clear to kind of show you that string. And then white Posca, and that's about it. I got my cute little Halloween monsters here. There's so many Halloween pages in this book. I wanted to color so many. This was either one of these was another one I was going to work on, but I didn't get to those. But I did finish that one, and I think it's so cute. So cute. All right, so there's that one from A Million Little Monsters. And then in my A Million Magical Creatures, which is a book I'm trying to finish, I did 2 pages this month. So the first one I did was this one. So I had done this one last month, and I decided I was just going to try with the watercolor. So this is mostly water mediums. I think it's just Inktense pencils, and then I did a little bit of splatter with the Inktense around the outside, a tiny little bit of shading with colored pencil, but not very much. Yeah, and then gel pen, sparkly gel pen, kind of all throughout the eyes and the background, and then a little bit on some of the orange spots on the pumpkin. But yeah, I think this turned out so cool. I love it. How cute. It's so neat. Yeah, I thought that turned out really good. And I love my little purple bats. So yeah, I like that one. And then the other one I did, which is another one that I used water mediums on. And this one I probably should have posted on Instagram because I adore this one. But I did this side. I did this one. I love the way this turned out. The bright blue against all of the orange and yellow and whatever colors are in the background, and then the sparkle on the water just makes it, like, it just it makes me so happy to look at this page. Now I'm kind of upset that I didn't do like the color palette, like I didn't bring any of this purple into here, but I still got like the orange mixed in and a little bit of pinks thrown in here too. I should have brought the purple in. That was my bad. But other than that, I just love it. I did use a lot of sparkly gel pen to kind of go around the outsides of the trees. I don't know if you'll be able to see that at all, but yeah, a lot of the detail on the tree is just done in gel pen. But yeah, the rest of this is all Inktense, and I just had a blast. So I think my Inktense are back in the rotation for these books, and that makes me happy. Now, I will say, it did happen here, so I'm going to hold this up really close. So you can see the little dots that are on the hat here. That's what happens a lot of the time for me when I use her water mediums. And I don't know if that's just because I'm using too much water or what exactly happened, but it didn't happen everywhere. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I don't mind it, especially in certain areas, because it, like, especially on this hat here, it creates a really cool texture. So I was fine with that. But yeah, if that's something that bothers you, probably don't use the water mediums in her books. But yeah, how cool is that one? I just didn't get it posted, but I love it. It's so neat. Okay, so there's that one. Oh, and I use glazed pens on all of the little eyes, so they're all sparkly too. Well, not sparkly, but shiny. Okay, so yeah, there's that one. I love it so much. Okay, and then hopefully I'll have some more colored in that book next month. And then I've got, here we go. So this one is my 50 Farmers Miniatures. This is my buddy color with the wonderful Megan from Disney Mix Coloring. And we picked her ABC challenge this month over on Instagram was the letter O. So she asked if we could color something with overalls, and this was the page that she said, hey, could we color this page? And I was like, yes, that's awesome. I love it. And of course, then I looked at it and I was like, well, I don't really know how to color this, and this isn't necessarily one that I would normally color. And then I was like, well, what do I do? So I just kind of thought on it for a while. And then I really wanted to make sure that I brought the fall colors in. So that was my vision. I'm going to put Megan's over here so you guys can see hers. Love the purple that she added in. I think it's such a fun, it's one of my favorite colors, purple, and it always just makes pages look lovely. So really love the way that her page turned out. On mine, it's the same thing. Excuse me. It's the same thing I normally do. I've got a little bit of chalk pastel in the background. I've got alcohol markers as a base, and then Prismacolor pencils on top. I did do a little bit in the background. I'm gonna hold that up so you can see some of the little wheat, I guess, or hay, or whatever it's called, whatever it is, you decide that you want it to be in the background. I decided to do the grass yellow, like it's dying since it's fall, instead of like a green, even though the stem is green here, but really kind of like the way that looks, especially with the hay like popping up in the background. Went with a warm gray for Mr. Goat here. And the glasses weren't like see-through, so I just did the best I could. I wasn't really sure how to do them. I like that Megan made hers sunglasses, but I wasn't really sure what to do, so I just did that. And then I like my little watering can because I made sure that he had like a little bit of a rusty old metal watering can. I don't know. That's just what I assume you have on a farm. I don't know. I've never lived on a farm, but that's my assumption. So yeah, so there's that. I really like the way this turned out. I'm excited for next month. Really love the progress I've made in this book. And I know that I've been saying I'm going to try to do a flip through of this. It's going to happen eventually. But yeah, I've got like a list of all these videos now that I need to make since I was busy all last month with some pages that you'll see here in a minute. But yeah, this one's definitely one that I want to share all the pages with you guys. But yeah, so there is that one. Love the way that turned out. Thanks for coming with me again, Megan. You're awesome. Okay, so these two were kind of just for fun. I just decided one day that I wanted to sit down and color. I think I might have done this one in a weekend whip as well, but I can't remember exactly. But I did this, and it happens to be the same as the front cover. But I tried again to use water mediums on this Amazon paper, and you can hear the result, and you can kind of see the buckling in the background. I do not recommend using it in the backgrounds. Like, it just didn't end up working, and I had to try to go over it with color pencil and try to make it blend, and it's still just, nothing was working right. But I don't mind it as a base on smaller elements. So I used it on the tree, the leaves, all of this, the characters, the house, all of this greenery down here, the mushrooms. And I was able to, use some pencils and make that look pretty cool. But I like the way the page turned out. I just don't love the buckling. And I know that you can go and iron it and straighten it out or flatten it out. I'm just too lazy. I just want to complain about it and just let it be. But yeah, that's my page in this book. I really love Forest Divers books. If you do not have any of her artwork, even though it's on Amazon paper, they're wonderful books. So anything by Forest Diver that you can find is beautiful, beautiful pages. So, and she's a Ukrainian artist. So if you want to help sponsor her or support her, you can do it that way by buying her books. So, or their books. I'm not sure. We're just going to say their books because I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, so there is that one. Love that one. Another beautiful fall page. And I didn't veer too far from the front cover either. Like the color, the leaves are pretty much the same. The stuff down here is pretty much the same. But yeah, still like the way it turned out. Okay. And then I did one in Dragon Dreams. This is a book that I had not colored in yet, and another one where I decided I wanted to use a little bit. No, I didn't use water mediums on this. This is all chalk pastel and alcohol marker. And the reason the page is a little buckly is because I put a ton of stickles on these leaves and on the leaves of the wings of the dragon. But yeah, I think he's cute. I think he turned out really cute. This is my beautiful autumn dragon. Yeah, I like it. I wasn't sure what to do here, so I hope that that's okay. But yeah, that's what I did. I love him. He's so cute, and really love R.J. Hampson's artwork. I'm glad that I finally have one colored in this book, and excited to do more in his books because he's just so talented. So yeah, so that is that one from Dragon Dreams. Okay, so now we're going to get into my Witchtober series. So all the coloring that I did for the month of October, I have videos for each of these pages, so you can go onto my channel. I have a playlist that's all the videos, or you can, search through my videos and find the ones that pick and choose the ones that you want to watch. But each page that I'm going to show you from here on out has a video, and I will link the playlist in the description below if you just want to head there and watch the videos. So let's get started. Okay, I think this is the correct order, but even if it's not, they're all, like I said, they're all the videos are there. So this one was the page I did so each page is based off a different color palette, which I'll post the color palettes when I show you the pages today too. But that was the whole premise of my color along on Instagram and the videos that I put out on YouTube this month. So this first one was the Pumpkin Witch. So this was the page that I did, and I will post the color palette on screen too, so you can kind of see a comparison from like where I got my colors and stuff. I really like how all of them turned out. So you probably are going to hear me say this multiple times, but it was really fun to do these. So I'm going to hold these up closer so you can kind of see a little bit of the detail. I really like the pumpkins on this one. I think they turned out really cool. And all of these are a combination of alcohol markers, Prismacolor pencils, and then some kind of sparkly something, whether it's a gel pen, stickles, something like that. So this one was my Pumpkin Witch. I really think she's adorable. I like her a lot. And it's my first page in this book, and there's so many cute ones in here. I just need to color more in here. I feel like I can only color witches during Halloween, and that's not the case. I can color them anytime. But there you go. That's my reasoning. Okay, so this next one is Cute Witches by Jade Summer. This is another book I had never colored in, and this was the witch that I picked for my Death Witch color palette. And I'll put the color palette up, and really wanted to play off the purples and that pale green. I feel like I probably could have used a little bit more of the pale green, but yeah, I wasn't sure how to use it, especially once I started coloring the purple stuff. I was like, well, she's going to be a lot of purple. But if you look closely, you can kind of see a lot of the green in like the highlights of things. Of course, the entire staff is green and sparkly, which is awesome. I've got some green on the book down here. And then like a lot of like the lighting effects. So you can see on the skulls here, like at the side of the chair, her hat here, you can see some green, a little bit of highlight on her face is a little green, and the skulls down here all have some green in them too. So that was kind of where I ended up putting the green, specifically because I put it in the flames and then just kind of went, well, where else do I put it? But I wanted this page to be really dark and gloomy and even though it's cute illustration, I wanted her to be a little scary, because I don't do super scary. So this was as scary as I got this month, and I really like it. I think she turned out awesome. And then, like I said, just seeing everybody's pages who colored along with me. I had one of my coloring friends also colored this page, and hers is just gorgeous. I love it so much. And then I've got another one coming up later where that happened again, and it's awesome to see. So yeah, so that is my Death Witch from Jade Summer Cute Witches. The next one is in Deborah Muller Witch's Ball, and this is my Wicked Witch, which I really think that this is a cool one. So again, I'll put the color palette up here, and you can kind of see in one of the images there, I kind of took the inspiration from that yellow circle behind the Wicked Witch, and then like the green, and then all these swirly bits around the outside edges are kind of lifted from that as well. Yeah, and that's really it. I'm not the best at blending markers on this paper, so the blending is maybe a little rougher than it could have been, but it looks all right. Yeah, and then I wanted her to have a very gothic outfit. I didn't want it to be bright and like purple, so I went with blacks and grays, and then just added bits of purple here and there. I used black gel pen on the beads and the rosary thing here. And then I added green highlights to her hair. That was the other thing that I really liked, as I used that green color as a highlight. So it was the chartreuse, I think. I used that as a highlight throughout. So you can see it on her hat, you can see it on her clothing, in her broom, and then in her hair. And that's just a really cool. I probably should have used it on the bats, but I didn't think about that. But yeah, so there is my Wicked Witch. Really like her. The next one is in Witch Season. This one was my Forest Witch. And again, I will put the color palette up here. This page, I love coloring anything Johanna Bassford, but this page was really fun. Again, a lot of alcohol marker work. Really loved the greens on the outfits in the inspiration images. So I wanted to definitely have her dressed in some kind of green. And then the oranges, you know, picking up that orangey color that's in the color palette as well. And wanted the leaves to kind of all have that orange color. And then this blue, I feel like it should have been a little bit darker, but I didn't really have the right colors for that, so I just went with what I had. But I like how that turned out too. So again, I'll hold it up closer so you can kind of see some of the elements. I really love my witch. I love her skin and her hair. I love her little copper pot that she's got, copper cauldron. I think that turned out cool. And then I've got some sparkles on the leaves too, some stickles. But yeah, so there is my Forest Witch from Witch Season by Johanna Bassford. The next one is in Lacey Sunshine's Hocus Pocus coloring book. This book is just too cute, and this is the page that I did. I used the candy palette for this one because there was some candy floating around in the sky here, so I was like, well, that's candy. That's the candy palette. It's done. I loved the colors for this one. I wish I would have done a little bit lighter blue on the candy corn, but other than that, I really like the way this page turned out. I used some paint pens to do the stars and the dots in the background. Really like this moon, and I added stickles to the moon. Hopefully you can see a little bit of that sparkle. Yeah, alcohol markers and Prismacolor again. A little bit of gel pen on her hat too. But she turned out so cute. And I wanted to do a different kind of broom instead of just like a yellow broom. I wanted it to be like candy inspired, I guess. I don't know. But I like it. Yeah, I thought she turned out cool. So she was a cute witch. So there's that one from Lacey Sunshine's Hocus Pocus by Heather Valentin. The next one is in Molly Harrison's Big Book of Halloween and Autumn. This book is gorgeous. It's not the best paper, but it's gorgeous, and I love all of the pages. So this was my Lunar Witch, and again, I'll put up the color palette there so you can see what colors I've used. Again, it's got another one of those where it's got that really light kind of just a light green. It's just gray green, I guess. Really like it. And so I used that on the stone and her like hat and her cape a little bit. And then the rest of it, I really was inspired by the dark clothing and the like light blue gray hair and the moths. So I drew these moths in. I spent a little longer on this moon and then ended up covering it all up with the sparkly watercolor. You can kind of see a little bit of the work that I did on it. But it's, yeah, definitely just a very shiny moon now. And then I used that same color, maybe it's silver. I might have used some silver watercolor and sprinkled that over this alcohol marker background. So yeah, and I wanted, again, her to be very pale and to have really pale eyes. I'll show you kind of her a little closer up. Yeah, there she is. She looks pretty cool. And yeah, I like her. This is the other one that another one of my coloring friends did this one as well. And it was Jen from Jen's Coloring Corner. And it just turned out gorgeous. So yeah, so there is that one. That one is, I think, so that is the 6th one, right? Yep. So I did 8 pages total. So we have 2 more. So that one's from The Big Book of Halloween by Molly Harrison. The next one is in Chubby Witches. This one is so cute. I love this book. And I got it just because it says Chubby Witches, and I feel like representation is important. So when I see anything chubby, I'm like, yes, that's what we need. So this one was my Pastel Witch. So I'm going to put the color palette up on screen for you guys. And I really ended up going with this page only because these little potion bottles were flying around, and I had a potion bottle on the inspiration image. And I was just like, okay, well, that's it. And then she had like this big hat. So I figured I could probably use that hat from one of the images on there. And then I just kind of went with the same colors. Yeah, that's basically it. So, and the background I did using chalk pastel, and I was inspired by one of the images on the board, and it was like pink was on one side and like blues and purples were on the other. And I just thought that was a neat, I don't know, I just liked the way that looked. So I did that, and then I had a little bit of yellow behind her to kind of make her look a little glowy. These little magical fire bits, I added in pinks and blues, but it didn't quite look right. So I just ended up going over top of it with stickles. Used a little bit of gel pen on like the buckles, these little hat embellishments, and her little tattoos. Yeah, I really like that. I had fun doing these little jars too. I think those turned out cute. But yeah, there is my Pastel Witch. Really, really like this one. And I want to color more in this book because I think it's so cute. I love it. So yeah, that is that one from Chubby Witches by Deborah Muller. And then last but not least is this one in Witch Magic. So this is my Autumn Witch. And here is my page, and then the color palette is up on screen there, so you can see where I've pulled my colors from. I really meant for her cloak and her skirt and hat to be more browns, but then I saw this like reddish brown that I had. It really reads more red on screen, but I think it's okay. But I wanted something a little different than the brown tree in the background, so I really liked the way that reddish color works, and there is kind of a red color in the color palette too. Yeah, I used some golds and oranges and all kinds of colors for the tree up top here. I do kind of go through how to color trees like this when you don't have all of the lines. So sometimes that's hard for people. It's usually hard for me too, but I just kind of thought about it a little bit and kind of, so my approach to doing that is in this video in case you're interested in how I got that tree to look like that. Yeah, and then a couple different colors on my pumpkins. I really had fun using my pencils to make a little bit extra in the background here. So I'm going to hold this up. I did the background originally with some chalk pastel and my alcohol markers, and then used my Prismacolors to shade. Added in a little bit of stickles and paint pen here and there. You can see the stickles kind of all in the tree up at the top. And on all of the leaves, there's a little bit of stickles. And then, yeah, I really like this this little just magical leaf blowing in the wind. I think that turned out really cute. But yeah, really love the way this one turned out. This one's one of my favorites. Let me know. I would love to hear what your favorite which was this month, or page, or whatever you want to tell me about is fine. I think my favorite ones, I think I like this one and my Pastel Witch the best. And then I really, really loved that witch one that I colored in A Million Magical Creatures. It's just the color, the brightness of the colors and everything just makes me smile. So yeah, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Yeah, if you have any questions about anything, let me know in the comments. I try to respond to those as promptly as I can. But yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for being here. And until next time, I'll see you later.